what quantum numbers are, an orbital can be explained by using three numbers, and these numbers are called the quantum numbers. So quantum numbers are the numbers used to characterize or to explain or to define an orbital. We know that the electrons are seen in orbitals. We had divided orbits into subshells, then subshells into orbitals. Now, the electrons are seen in the orbitals, and the orbital can be defined. An orbital can be characterized using three numbers, and these numbers are called the quantum numbers. We know the three quantum numbers are the principal quantum number n, small n, the azimuthal quantum number or the subsidiary quantum number or the secondary quantum number shown by small l, and the magnetic quantum number, that is ms or ml or simply m, small m or ml. So these are the three quantum numbers by which we can characterize an orbital. Let us see what they are in detail. So let us go to the quantum numbers back. Okay, let us start with the principal quantum number. The principal quantum number. And it is denoted by small n. Principal quantum number is denoted by small n. And what does the principal quantum number represent? A principal quantum number is the same as the number of the shell, and therefore principal quantum number n represents the shell. It represents the shell or the orbit. The shell or the orbit. It is the same as the number of the shell or the number of the orbit, principal quantum number. Then it can give an idea regarding the size of the orbital also. It gives an idea of the size of an orbital, size of orbitals. So we get two things from the principal quantum number. If we get the principal quantum number n, small n, immediately we can come to the shell or the orbit. Secondly, it gives an idea regarding the size of the orbital, size of the orbitals. Let us take some examples. Say, for example, you take the first shell, that is the K shell. K shell. The number of the shell is equal to 1, and therefore the principal quantum number is equal to 1 itself. I told you it is the number of the shell itself. Principal quantum number is the number of the shell, and so it represents the shell or the orbit. So the principal quantum number of the first shell, K shell, is equal to n is equal to 1. You go to the second shell, that is L, the number of the shell, that is equal to 2, that is equal to 2. And therefore, the principal quantum number of the L shell, that is equal to 2 itself. So 2 means the second shell, the second orbit, that is the L shell. M, the number of the shell is equal to 3, and therefore the principal quantum number n is equal to 3. N, the fourth shell, and therefore the principal quantum number n is equal to 4, etc., etc. So the principal quantum number n represents the shell or the orbit, and it gives an idea regarding the size of the orbitals. That means if n is equal to 1, the orbital is a smaller one. If n is equal to 2, that is a larger orbital. Then n is equal to 3, still larger orbital. N is equal to 4, still larger orbital. So higher the order of the principal quantum number, larger is the size of the orbital. Larger is the size of the orbital if the principal quantum number n is a larger value. That is why I told you it gives an idea regarding the size of the orbitals also. So principal quantum number n, it is the same as the number of the shell or the number of the orbit. It is representing the shell or the orbit, and it gives an idea regarding the size of the orbitals. Apply this for various shells. Say for example, K shell, principal quantum number n is equal to 1. L shell, principal quantum number n is equal to 2. Then M shell, principal quantum number n is equal to 3. N shell, principal quantum number n is equal to 4. O, Mn, O, fifth one, so n is equal to 5, etc., etc. So the principal quantum number represents the shell or the orbit. Now you come to the subsidiary or azimuthal quantum number, quantum number or subsidiary quantum number. It is denoted by, say, small l. It is denoted by small l. And what we get from the subsidiary quantum number or secondary quantum number or azimuthal quantum number L. If we get L, what all informations we get from the L value? First of all, let us think of the L value is possible. The L value is possible. L can have n values. L can have n values. It can have n values starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n minus 1. The L value starts from L is equal to 0. And there can be n values, total number of values. The L values will be the same as the principal quantum number, n. And the values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to n minus 1. The L value begins from, it begins from 0, not from 1. It begins from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And what do the L values represent? The L value represents the subshell. So L represents the subshell. If we get the L value, immediately we can say which subshell it is. So it represents the subshell. Not only that, it gives an idea regarding the shape of the orbital also. It gives the shape of the orbital, shape of orbitals. So we get two informations from the L value. We get two informations. One, L value represents the subshell. Then it gives an idea regarding the shape of the orbital. You go back to n. N represents the shell. It represents the shell or the orbit. Not only that, it gives an idea regarding the size of the orbital. Now you come to the L value. The L value, see here L represents the subshell. If we get to the L value, immediately we can reach the subshell. And if we get the subshell, then we can determine the shape of the orbital. So L value gives an idea regarding the subshell. Secondly, it gives an idea regarding the shape of the orbital also. Suppose L is equal to 0. It begins from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to n minus 1. Totally, there will be n values in a given shell. In a given shell, the total number of n values, L values, total number of L values will be the same as the principal quantum number n itself. But it begins from 0 and ends with n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1. Suppose L is equal to 0, then it is the S subshell. Yes subshell. If L is equal to 1, it is P. L is equal to 2, it is D. L is equal to 3, it is F. And L is equal to 4, it is G. Then 5, H, etc. You just remember the order. SPDF, GH, the subshells. And the order of the L values will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. If L is equal to 0, it is a S subshell. If L is equal to 1, it is P subshell. If L is equal to 2, it is a D subshell. Then L is equal to 3, it is a F subshell. If we get the subshell, immediately we can say the shape of the orbital also. The orbital in the S subshell, it is known as S orbital and it is spherical. That is why I told you it gives an idea regarding the shape of the orbital also. So if it is S, spherical, P, dumbbell, then D, double dumbbell, etc. So it gives the shape of the orbital also. Let us apply these values for various shells. Let us start from the K shell. Start from the K shell. You take K shell. Here there is the shell. Then let us think of the n value. And what will be the L values, possible L values? What are the possible L values? Let us think of it. You come to the K shell. Say for K shell, the number of the shell is equal to 1. Therefore, the principal quantum number that is equal to 1 itself. And what will be, if n is equal to 1, what will be the L value? You know, L values will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to n minus 1. These are the L values. Okay, you got it? Now you come to the K shell. Here the principal quantum number n is equal to 1 that we have got. If n is equal to 1, what will be the possible values of L? What will be the possible values of L? You think of it. You start from 0 and end with n minus 1. Start from 0 and end with n minus 1. What is n here? N is equal to 1. So n minus 1 means 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So start from 0, end with 0, and therefore there is only there is only one
Zero.
value, and that is 0. The L value is equal to 0. There is only one value, and that is a 0. Now we can say which are the subshells. The subshells, the possible subshells. Which are the subshells possible? Let us think of it. If L is equal to 0, which is the subshell? I had told you it is the S. L is equal to 1, that is P. L is equal to 2, that is D. L is equal to 3, that is equal to F, etc. Okay. So, if L is equal to 0, which is the subshell? It is the S subshell. Yes subshell. But it is the subshell of the first shell. The subshell of the first shell. And to identify the subshell of the first shell, you write the principal quantum number on the left hand side. So the possible subshell, that is equal to 1s. There is only one subshell. Do you remember the old concept? Do you remember the old concept? In the old concept, we have divided orbits or shells into subshells. And there I told you that the number of the subshells will be the same as the number of the orbit named as principal quantum number. Now I come to here, the quantum number theory. In the quantum number theory, you see, in the quantum number theory also, we can see that there is only one subshell, and that is called the oneness. It is called the oneness orbital. There is only one orbital, and it is the oneness subshell. Okay. Now you go to the next one, second one, that is the L shell. The number of the shell is equal to 2, and therefore the principal quantum number is equal to 2. If a principal quantum number is equal to 2, what are the possible values for L? You start from 0 and end with n minus 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n minus 1. Here n is equal to 2. So n minus 1 is equal to 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. Start from 0 and end with 1. Achyut, do you follow this? We start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and we have to end with n minus 1. For the L shell, principal quantum number is equal to 2. And the L values, the possible L values, how many L values are possible? How many L values are possible? The number of L values will be the same as the principal quantum number. So, 2 L values are possible. Principal quantum number is equal to 2, and therefore 2 L values are possible. And which are these L values? 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n minus 1. N is equal to 2. So n minus 1, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. You start from 0 and end with 1. So 2, 0 and 1. 2 L values are there. 2 L values are there. Since there are 2 L values, in the L shell, 2 subshells are possible. This is the thing we have already studied. But it was another concept. It was another approach. It was another theory. Okay. Without the help of the quantum numbers, we have otherwise proved that in the second shell, 2 subshells are possible, and they are named as S and P. This we have already studied previously. And now we come to the same thing, the same number. And that is through another approach. That is the quantum mechanical approach. Okay. So, in the K shell, L is equal to 2. So, 2 L values are possible. 2 L values are possible. And the 2 L values are 0 and 1. And which are the subshells? If it is 0, see here, 0. If it is 0, it is S. It is S. And if it is 1, then it is P. So, the subshells are S and P. So, here also S comes. So, we have to distinguish the S subshell of the second shell from the S subshell of the first shell. So, you write it as a 2S and here 2P. 2S and 2P. So, in the K shell, there are 2 subshells. There are 2 subshells. And which are the subshells? In the L shell, they are 2S and 2P. Let me repeat. In the second shell, that is the L shell, principal quantum number is equal to 2. Why? Principal quantum number is the same as the number of the shell. The number of the shell is equal to 2. Number of the shell is equal to 2. And therefore, the principal quantum number of the second shell, that is the L shell, that is equal to 2. Okay. If the principal quantum number is equal to 2, that L can have 2 values. 2 L values are possible. And these 2 L values are 0 and 1. 2 L values are possible. So, they are 0 and 1. Since 2 L values are possible, there are 2 subshells. There are 2 subshells in the second shell, in the L shell. The same thing we have studied through another approach in the previous classes. This is we are paving the way for a new approach. That's all. We are coming to the same conclusion. Conclusion is the same. Okay. And if L is equal to 0, then it is S subshell. If L is equal to 1, it is a P subshell. And here the S subshell is of the second shell. So you write it as a 2S. The principal quantum number 2S and 2P. Okay. Now you come to the third one, M. Principal quantum number is equal to 3. Number of the shell, that is equal to 3. Since, do you follow, my dear friends?
Yes,
You
sir.
say yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Sir.
You follow?
Yes.
Okay. So, principal quantum number n is equal to 3. So, how many L values are possible? Punya? How many L values are possible?
3, sir.
Three values are possible, and they are 0, 1, and 2. All right? N minus 1. N minus 1. N is equal to 3. So 3 minus 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. These are the values possible. 0, 1, and 2. These are 3 L values possible. Since 3 L values are possible, there are 3 subshells. 3 subshells in the M shell. 3 subshells in the M shell. And which are they? See, if L is equal to 0, you go to this side. If L is equal to 0, it is S. If L is equal to 1, that is P. L is equal to 2, that is equal to D. Here also, there are S and P. So to distinguish, you write it as 3S, 3P, and 3D. See? Got it? So, in the third shell, that is the M shell, principal quantum number n is equal to 3. So 3 L values are possible, and these are 0, 1, 2, and 3. If it is 0, it is S. If it is 1, it is P. If it is 2, it is D. And these are of the third shell. And so you write it as 3S, 3P, 3D. So these are the possible subshells in the M shell, All right. Now, you look at this. The S subshell, it begins from which level? Which S subshell is possible? The minimum number. The minimum possible number. Come on.
1.
First shell.
Oneness. Don't simply say oneness. Oneness is possible, 2S is possible, 3S is possible, 4S is possible, 5S is possible, 6S is possible, 7S is possible. All right? Okay. Now you come to P. Which P is the smallest possible subshell?
2P.
2P onwards. 2P onwards. 1P is not possible. All right? 2P, 3P, 4P, 5P, etc. All right? You come to D. The D level begins from which D onwards? Come on. 3D onwards.
3D.
So 1D not possible. 2D not possible. 3D is possible. 4D possible. 5D possible. 6D possible. All these are possible. So 1D, 2D, these are not possible. Why I take this much of strain? Because such questions will be asked. You will be given some shells, and you will be asked which is not possible. Okay. Now you come to the fourth shell. Which one? Say
N.
K, L, M, and M. K, L, M, and N. So, N, that is the fourth shell. K, L, M, N. The fourth one. So, the principal quantum number, that is equal to 4. If a principal quantum number L is equal to 4, how many L values are possible?
4.
4 values are possible, starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. All of you follow? These are the 4 values possible. All right? And which are the subshells? The names of the subshells. Yes, if L is equal to 0, it is yes. L is equal to 1, P. L is equal to 2, B. L is equal to 3, F. And these are of the fourth shell. So 4S, 4P, 4D, 4F. Now you come to F. F begins from, come on,
Fourth shell.
4F only. It begins from 4F only. All right? 1F, not possible. 2F, not possible. 3F, not possible. Similarly, you go to O, the fifth one. 5 subshells are possible. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. S, P,
Sir.
D, F, and G. And these are 5. 5S, etc. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, come on.
Doubt.
Come on. Achud, you say? Let us take the next one. Let us take the next one. Say K, L, M, N, O. O, that is the fifth shell. Okay? Fifth. So N is equal to 5. L is equal to 5 values are possible. 5 values, okay? Starting from 0, ending with the n minus 1. What is n minus 1? 5 minus 1, 4. Starting from 0, ending with 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 values are there in the L value. 4 values are possible. So in the O shell, K, L, M, N, O, fifth one, 5 subshells are possible. And which are the subshells? The names of the subshells: 0, S, P, then D, then F, and G. And these are of the fifth shell. So 5S, 5P, 5D, 5F, 5G. So G is possible only from 5G. You just remember the order, the sequence. S, P, D, F, G, H. Okay? S, P, D, F, G, H. From that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. 1S, 2P, same order, 3D, 4F, 4F, 5G, 6H, etc. These are the possible subshells. So we are getting the same idea as we have already studied. Okay. So the secondary quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, or subsidiary quantum number L can have n values. Total number of L values will be the same as the number of the n value, n values, starting from 0, ending with the n minus 1. And from that, how many L values are there? Corresponding to that, there will be the number of subshells also. And 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., SP, D, F, G, etc. And you give the principal quantum number also on the left-hand side to distinguish between the various subshells of the various shells. Okay? And that's about the subsidiary quantum number or azimuthal quantum number. It gives the subshell. The subshells, we'll get the number of subshells, and we get the shape of the orbital also from this. Now, let us go to the third one, that is called the magnetic quantum number. The magnetic quantum number. And it is represented by, you can write it as M, or you can write it as ML also. ML as a suffix. On the right hand side, L you can write. Or you can simply write M. And what do the M values represent? Let us see. So, magnetic quantum number, that is equal to ML. And the values, the possible number of values, the total number of M values, will be 2L plus 1 values. There can be 2L plus 1 values. 2L plus 1 values. From this, you will get the number of the orbitals and the orientation, the direction of the orbitals also. We'll get the number of orbitals. How many M values are there? You find out how many M values are there. For each M value, there is an orbital. So, the magnetic quantum number M or ML, it represents the number of orbitals. First, number of orbitals in a subshell. Number of orbitals in a subshell. In a subshell, how many orbitals are possible? Number of orbitals in a subshell. from the m values. We can decide that. Then, secondly, the orientation of the orbitals. Orientation, the direction. Orientation, orientation of orbitals. The direction of the orbitals. The orientation of the orbitals. These are the two informations we get from the magnetic quantum number values. Okay. There can be totally 2L plus 1 values. Let us take the various subshells. The various subshells like, for example, you take the L is equal to 0. L is equal to 0. We know it is the S subshell. S subshell. Let us find out how many orbitals are there in this. How many orbitals are there? You find out the total number of m values. If L is equal to 0, L is equal to 0, the m values, what will be the m values? There can be totally 2L plus 1 values. Starting from, and these values, starting from minus L to plus L, minus L to plus L through 0. Meanwhile, there will be 0 also. Minus L to plus L through 0. Without a 0, you cannot cross minus to plus. 0 is there. That is why the total number is equal to 2L plus 1 values. Minus L to plus L. So let us find out the case of the S subshell. You come to the S subshell. For S subshell, L is equal to 0. For S subshell, L is equal to 0. And what are the possible m values? Minus L to plus L. Minus L to plus L. L is equal to 0. Minus L, minus 0 to plus L, plus 0. Minus 0 to plus 0. There is only one value. Whether it is plus 0, minus 0, it is only 0. So there is only one value that is equal to 0. You come back. For the S subshell, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, etc. You take. For the S subshell, L is equal to 0. Okay? L is equal to 0. If L is equal to 0, what will be the possible values of m? M will be minus L to plus L. Totally, there will be 2L plus 1 values. Minus L to plus L through 0. So total number will be 2L plus 1 values. Come back to S. Come back to S. For S, L is equal to 0. Follow this. L is equal to 0. If L is equal to 0, what are the possible m values? Magnetic quantum number values.
See.
Minus 0 to plus 0, that is equal to 0 itself. There is only one value. For m, there is only one value. Since there is only one value, only one orbital is possible. In the S level, there is only one orbital. There is only one orbital. The shape we know, S spherical, that we have got from the azimuthal quantum number. Shape of the orbital we have got from the azimuthal quantum number. So in the S subshell, there is only one orbital. Let us go to the P subshell. For P, L value. What is the value of L? Do you remember? Forgotten?
1.
L is equal to
1.
1. L is equal to 1. And therefore, what are the possible m values?
Minus 1
L to plus L. Minus 1
to plus
0 plus 1. So total number of m values is equal to 3. And therefore, how many orbitals are possible? How many orbitals in the p level? Come on. Ah,
Here.
Three
there
orbit.
are 3 orbitals possible. The same thing we have already studied. Do you remember? There are 3 orbitals in the p level, p subshell, and they are px, py, pz. We know the shape also, that is a double dumbbell. So from the number of m values, from the number of m values, we can determine the number of orbitals possible in the given subshell. Okay, you take one more. After that, we can stop. You go to the F. Here, for F, L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. S, P, D, F. 0, 1, 2, 3 is equal to 3. 3. So 3 values are possible. And which are the possible M values? M values. Minus
Minus
L
3.
to plus L.
Minus 3 to plus
3,
3.
minus 2, minus 1. Then,
0.
come on.
0.
0,
1.
plus 1,
Plus 2.
plus 2,
Plus 3.
and plus 3. How many values are possible
7.
here?
7.
7 values. 7 values. And how many orbitals are possible? 7 orbitals are possible. You come to the D. I jumped D. D. What will be the L value for D?
2.
Yes, SPD. That is equal to 2. So M values are, come on, minus
Minus
2,
2,
minus
minus
1,
0,
0,
1,
1,
2.
and plus 2. How many M values are possible?
5.
5.
5. How many orbitals are possible?
5 orbit.
5 orbitals. Do you remember? The 5 orbit dxy, dxn, dyz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. Okay. So from the m values, we can find out the number of the orbitals in a subshell and the orientation of the orbitals also. And that's all for today. This time. Thank you.